I want you to transport yourself to a very specific, painful moment. Imagine you are sitting in a meeting, or maybe you are on a Zoom call. The client looks at you, leans forward, and asks the question you dread the most. So, how much is this going to cost? Time stops. Your heart rate spikes. Your palms start to sweat. Your throat tightens. In your head, you know the number you want to say. You know the value you provide. Let's say the real number is $10,000. That is fair market value. But then, a toxic voice in your head whispers, "Who do you think you are? You are not a real expert. You are just a beginner who got lucky." If you say 10,000, they will laugh in your face. They will find out that you are a fraud. So, what do? You panic. You cave. You lower the number. You say, 5,000. Or worse, you mumble, "I don't know. What is your budget?" Congratulations. You just lost $5,000 in 2 seconds. You didn't lose it because of the market crash. You didn't lose it because of inflation. You lost it because of a glitch in your brain known as Imposter Syndrome. Welcome to Money Unmasked. Today, we are going to calculate exactly how much this humility is costing you. I call it the Imposter Tax. Let's do the math. If you undercharge by just 20% because of fear, and you do this consistently for 20 years, with compound interest, you are setting fire to millions of dollars. You are not just being modest, you are literally stealing from your future family, from your retirement, and from your freedom, just to pay for your current insecurity. Why do we do this? Why does a rational person who has spent thousands of hours learning a skill feel like a thief when asking for payment? The answer is not low self-esteem. That is a cheap explanation for children. The answer lies in evolutionary biology and a dangerous misunderstanding of how human beings perceive value. Today, we kill the imposter. Not with warm affirmations, but with cold, hard logic. First, let's look at the data. Who usually suffers from imposter syndrome? Is it the incompetent? Is it the lazy? Is it the people who actually don't know anything? No. Psychological studies show a terrifying correlation. The more competent you are, the more likely you are to feel like a fraud. This is the dark side of the Dunning-Kruger Effect. You know the graph. People with low ability often suffer from illusory superiority. They are on Mount Stupid. They know so little that they don't even realize how much they don't know. They walk into a room and demand high prices because they are too ignorant to doubt themselves. But you? As you get smarter, as you gain real skills, your vision expands. You start to see the nuance. You start to see the complexity of your field. You compare yourself to the absolute masters, to the top 1%, not to the average person. And so, your confidence crashes. You enter the valley of despair. This creates a paradox in the market. The people who should be charging the most, the true experts, are the ones most afraid to ask for money. Meanwhile, the actual imposters, the scammers, the loudmouths, the people who read one book and think they are gurus, are charging high tickets without blinking. If you feel like a fraud right now, I have good news for you. It is statistically likely that you are actually competent. Your doubt is not proof of your failure. Your doubt is proof of your intelligence. The imposter voice is actually your internal quality control system working overtime. The problem is not the voice. The problem is that you let the quality control manager set the prices. Never let the person who inspects the product be the one who sells the product. They have different jobs. The inspector looks for flaws. The seller looks for value. You need to fire the inspector from the sales department immediately. Now, let's look at the economics. This is where most people get it wrong. You think that by lowering your price, you are playing it safe. You think, if I charge less, the client is more likely to say yes. I will fly under the radar. I won't have to deal with high expectations. This is a fatal error. In the psychology of money, price is not just a math problem. Price is a communication signal. It is a language. Imagine you have a serious brain tumor. You need surgery to save your life. You find two doctors. Dr. A looks you in the eye and says, "I am the best neurosurgeon in this state. My surgery costs $50,000, and I am booked for 3 months." Dr. B looks down at his shoes, mumbles, sweats, and says, "Well, I can try to do it for $500. Maybe less if that's too much. I can start tomorrow." Who do you trust with your life? Be honest. Do you think, "Wow, Dr. B is such a humble guy, what a bargain"? No. Your brain screams danger. You think, "Dr. B is going to kill me. Why is he so cheap? What is wrong with him? Is he desperate?" When you lower your price out of fear, you are not doing the client a favor. You are sending a signal of incompetence. You are triggering their red flag mechanism. Humans are wired to associate price with value. It is a heuristic shortcut we use to survive. High price equals high status equals high trust. Low price equals desperation equals low quality. By charging less, you are actually attracting the worst kind of clients, the ones who don't respect you, the ones who will micromanage you, and the ones who will complain about every penny. You are afraid that if you ask for the money, you will be exposed as a fraud. The irony is, charging too little is what exposes you as an amateur. Real professionals know their worth. Real professionals are expensive because they solve expensive problems. If you want to stop feeling like an imposter, stop charging like one. So how do we fix this? How do we rewire the nervous system to handle high numbers without panicking? Affirmations like "I am worthy" do not work. Your brain knows you are lying. You cannot think your way out of this fear. You must act your way out of it. You need exposure therapy. I call this technique silent acceptance, or in the original training, get used to it silently. Here's the protocol. I want you to use this in your next negotiation. When the moment comes to state your price, whether it is a salary negotiation, a freelance contract, or selling a product, you are going to do something physically painful. You are going to say the number, and then you are going to shut your mouth. The price is $10,000. Your brain will scream. Your amygdala will panic. You will feel a physical urge to fill the silence. You will want to say, "But we can negotiate," or "I know it sounds like a lot," or "If that works for you." Do not speak. Bite your tongue if you have to. Dig your nails into your hand. There is a rule in high-stakes negotiation. He who speaks first loses. When you justify your price immediately, you are apologizing for it. When you apologize, you admit guilt. You are telling the client, "I know this isn't worth it, please forgive me." But when you say the number and sit in absolute silence, you project absolute conviction. You force the other person to process the value. Often, the client is just thinking. They are doing math in their head. But because of your imposter syndrome, you interpret their silence as anger. You panic and lower the price before they even object. Stop it. Say the number. Count to 5 in your head. Let the tension build. Tension is where the sale happens. Tension is where the respect is built. You need to desensitize your nervous system to big numbers. Here is your homework. Stand in front of a mirror tonight. Look yourself in the eyes. Say, "My price is $50,000. Watch your face. Do you twitch? Do you look away? Do it until you are bored. Do it until the number sounds as neutral as "pass the salt." Money is just a tool. It only has the weight you give it. Here is the final truth that no one tells you. The feeling of being an imposter never truly goes away. I know billionaires who still feel like kids wearing their dad's suit. I know CEOs who vomit before shareholder meetings. David Bowie once said, "If you feel safe in the area you're working in, you're not working in the right area." Always go a little further into the water than you feel you're capable of being. That feeling of, "I shouldn't be here," that is not a stop signal. That is a GPS signal telling you that you are growing. That is the feeling of expansion. You have two choices. You can listen to the imposter, stay small, charge safe prices, and resent the world for not recognizing your talent. You can die cheap. Or you can put on the mask. The mask is not about being fake. The mask is the professional avatar you build to interact with the market. The imposter is the scared child inside you. The mask is the CEO of your life. When you enter a negotiation, the child stays in the car. The CEO walks into the room. The CEO does not need to be liked. The CEO needs to be effective. The CEO protects the assets. I want you to do one thing today. Go to your website, your rate card, or just write it on a piece of paper. Increase your price by 20%. Right now. No logic, no justification. Just change the math. If nobody complains about your price, you are too cheap. You need people to say, "That's expensive." That is the only proof that you are finally playing at your level. If you are ready to stop stealing from yourself, hit the like button right now. Do not do it for me. Do it as a signal to your own subconscious that you are done with the discount bin. Go to the comments and write, "No more discounts." Make it a public declaration. Burn the bridge to your old prices. Subscribe to Money Unmasked. We don't teach you how to be humble. We teach you how to be paid. Put on the mask. Take the money. See you at the top.